in my grass and be living life fast. And I put that on the dub. Motherfuckers can't hang. What you want, what you talk, what you rap for the game.
Yo, what's cracking? Welcome back to another episode of Never Enough Game. It's your boy Silent 200. I got my boy Lil Seti right here, man.
Yeah.
We was gone for a minute, but we back.
Man.
What's cracking with you, dog? How was your little hiatus?
Man, I was cool, dog. You know, I just, sometimes you gotta step away from the fucking limelight, dog, and deal with some real personal shit that's going on in your life.
Yup.
But yeah, no, I mean, actually everything's been going hella good, but I'm like 3 weeks sober right now. I haven't been drinking or nothing, and I feel hella good, dog.
Oh yeah, that's what's up, fool.
Yeah, that shit ain't fool, because sometimes you gotta just kick back a little bit, bro, and just, get your shit together, fool. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't think I had a problem. I just think it was time for me to stop. I just didn't like drinking, bro. I didn't like to be doing shit like that.
It's hard, fool. It's hard. I remember when I first stopped drinking, it was a bitch. And then after like the first week or two, I think after the first 2 weeks is when I was like, all right, now like I'm on it. But like in the beginning, it's hard.
I think that the main thing isn't. It wasn't that to me, it wasn't that I wanted to stop. Like it was hella hard to stop. It wasn't like some crazy shit that happened. It was just like I've already done like the most shit you could ever think of. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, this shit's not really doing nothing for me at this point. It was like almost like when you see a little kid, right? When you're a child and you're playing with toys, right? And then you kind of just grow out of that, and you're like, fuck these toys. That's just not even, no te agarra la atención. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No te llama la atención. So then that's when I was like, I don't even want to drink anymore. It doesn't grab my attention, and it just slowly starts to happen. And then I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Was it difficult? I don't think it was too difficult, because I started reading that book you recommended it to me, fool. And that book really changed a lot of shit, fool. It changed a lot of shit for me because
Which one?
The book was called Atomic Habits, bro.
Habits, yeah.
Bro, that fucking book is actually hella dope. How did you even hear about that shit?
Because of my job. Yeah.
Damn, your job be fucking recommending some dope ass books.
Well, it's
fool.
Because my job.
And I straight be not listening to you, nigga. I'm a piece of shit, fool.
This
nigga be recommending the dopest books, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Silent told me to read that shit. I'm not reading that shit. And I go back, fool.
It's a book, yeah.
Fool, they're fucking dope. That's actually a fucking. It's not that old book, It's not that old. I thought it was an old ass book. It's a new studies that this guy did on hella shit, fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Atomic Habits is crazy.
What do you think that benefited to you? That book?
I think it did a little confirmation of my mindset on. It just made me understand myself a little bit more, because I had those tools that I was using in my
You just didn't
own
know
way.
what it was called and how you were using them.
So like the whole, like how I lost like over 100 pounds. So I was 375. I'm 260 right now. Like I lost over 100 pounds. And that's all from putting myself in a mind state where I was like, because when that's why I was talking about it was hard for drinking, because one of the things that helped progress my my weight loss is that I gave up alcohol. So I stopped drinking, and then I got on keto. So that shit helped me out. And it was just a little switch I put in my head, and it was, instead of saying, oh, I'm trying to go on a diet, or I'm trying to stop drinking, I was saying, nah, I don't drink. And I was saying, nah, like it's a change of mindset.
If I could take anything from that book, bro, that really just affected me and made me look at everything how it's supposed to be, is that one saying. Because I'd always be like, because I'm thinking to myself, I just drank last week, and I'm like, I'm trying to stop drinking because I don't want someone to think I'm a hypocrite. But the book itself says, stop fucking saying trying, bro.
Yeah.
Say, I don't drink. I don't. And then the thing is, as man, you're gonna want to back up what you're saying, because you're a man of your word. So when you put your word behind something, it has to mean what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say, I don't drink, then somebody won't even want you to drink. Why? Because that's gonna go against your action. Now you consume that as part of your identity. And if you were to go back on your identity, then you would be a kind of a bitch. You feel me? You'd kind of be a sucker. So then if I say that, you would be like, nah, he doesn't drink, bro. Because then if I'm to go back and drink now, you can't trust me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I took that upon myself and made it part of my identity, and now I drink. It's too much. You gotta just put the balls on there and say, hey, I don't drink. Which then you kind of question a lot of motherfuckers that don't that do shit like that.
Right.
You feel me?
And then just like there's things I remember hearing you talk about it when you were talking about you talked about reverse engineering things. Like you look at a goal and then you're like, all right, well, we need to reverse engineer and see what's the step before that? Okay, what's the step before that? And all the way until you get to the first step. So in the same way, that book said, look at somebody that you want to be like, or look like, say somebody that's healthy, right? So you want to start, like you look at what you're doing now, and is your habits that you have now
gonna get you there?
Is it going to get you to your goal that you want to go to right there?
And then you know what it is too, from what you're saying is, you feel good when you're doing compounding your habits to create that person, because you might not have it now, but you know you're gonna fucking get there if you keep that shit going. And I knew that before I read the book, but once you read it, it just kind of like, it solidifies everything you already were thinking. And I want to just say, like, bro, I feel great, man. Honestly, I do. I feel hella good, fool. Like, I haven't been reading books, exercising this much, doing, like, my mind is like 100% clarity than this in a while, to be honest, bro. It's because the thing is, I wasn't looking to do this, like, to drink all the time, but it's like, damn, it's like people hit me up, hey, what's up? Well, let's go over here, let's do this, let's do that, da, da, da. But at a certain point, you got to be like, no. You feel me? Like, I'm not finna do that, because it's a good time, right? You're having a good time, but at the end of the day, bro, you can't say yes to everything. Because if you do, you're going to say no to the shit that you need to do.
Yep.
And then that's when I'm like, bro, honestly, I can't do it. You feel me? And then I have to set my goals. I have goals for myself that I have to reach, and they're important for me. You know, so that's when I'm like, bro, this shit, I've already done it way too much. I already done it. I have enough fucking memories to fill up for forever on this type of shit. But right now I need to set my goals and really focus. But that book and the books that I've been consuming, honestly, a lot of the books came from you, fool. And honestly, I should have been read those motherfuckers, because they would have been helped me. But that habit book, fool, it was like, if you, man, that and the first fucking thing when he said that was like the biggest like switch. Stop saying you're gonna try to do something and just do it.
Yep.
I'm not trying to stop drinking. I don't drink, and there you go, fool. And that was a huge one.
That
right
makes
there.
me want to read it again, dog.
I would double and triple it, but then I started focusing on my business again, like 100%, like looking at this bitch like with a fucking microscope. And then I'm like, all right, let's see what I have to do. I started refocusing all my energy in this shit.
I feel like books like that are like it's just think of it like training, right? Like sometimes you need to refresh your training, so it's always good to come back to them once in a while.
Oh no, those type of books, fool. They stay in your life. You stay having to reread them, because sometimes you fall off track a little bit, and you got to get back on the horse. You feel me? Yeah, there's certain books. Most people, fool, they have just like a handful of books that they always reread, and that's one of them for me. Like that shit, it was good. That one, and then I was having issues with my business, and I started getting hella deep into these Alex Hormozi books that are fucking super dope, brother. They're hella dope. But the book that really helped me look at things very clearly, and that book you recommended to me was Extreme Ownership, bro. Like I was like, you know what? I need to find a way to manage people. I need to manage people efficiently, you know? And I was having such a hard time with the people I was dealing with. And then I'm like, I have to know how to do this. And I started reading. I went on YouTube, and I'm like, looked at the 10 top fucking business management books, and I was going through them, checking reviews and shit. And then I seen like, 2,000 5-star reviews, 3,000. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a cool. They tell you to always look to 1,000 reviews and up for 5 stars, you know, and that should be a good book. But then when you get to the higher numbers, right, like 7,000, 8,000, you know, that's a good ass book. So I looked through the list, and I started checking the reviews, and I put it on a piece of paper, and I'm like, hold on, this book is 17,000 reviews. I'm like, damn, this is higher than all the rest of them. I'm like, who the fuck wrote this book? Jocko Wilkins. That's his name, huh?
Willink.
Willink.
This was said
I
Wilkins.
don't know. Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Isn't that fool that Silent was talking to me about? Because you fucking met that fool, right?
Yep.
And then I'm like, hold on, dog. Who the fuck? And I go back to read the Extreme. I look up fool 80,000 5-star. When you see a book like that, fool, I was like, oh shit. I started reading that shit. It helped me with understanding how business is supposed to flow. And the crazy part about it, it's so similar to how a gang works, bro. The similarities are ridiculous. And I started looking at what he's saying, and I'm like, okay, I see what your company is almost like a mini gang in a way, or not even a mini gang, like a gang. Really, the same fundamentals apply.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about what you said, like your encounter with him, with the guy that actually wrote the fucking book.
Yeah. So,
what was your encounter with him?
Yeah. So he was cool. I didn't get to have much like talk with him. I just got to shake his hand and take pictures and shit. But he was there as a speaker for like the whole company. So I work for a corporation that has like fucking branches all across the country, and they fly everybody there, and they'll get a couple of public speakers there. He was one of them, and there's another guy. His name is Jason Deloney. I'm reading a book that he's doing, or that he has done, and it's called Building a Non-Anxious Lifestyle. And I'm reading that because I have high anxiety. Sometimes I get anxious all the time.
Really?
Start figuring out that things that I'm doing it because I'm anxious.
But that's good though.
Yeah,
because that's letting you know that you should do them.
Yeah,
it's called stress.
No.
No.
Well, there's a couple different things. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'll get back to that in a minute. But when Jocko Willink was talking at the convention, or whatever you want to call it, when we were all meeting up, one of the things that he was saying that stuck with me.
Oh, hold on. For people that don't know, can you give them a backstory on that fool?
Jocko?
What did he do? Who was he?
Yeah, so
and how does he know these things?
Yeah, so Jocko was a platoon commander or somebody that just commanded like a whole squad of people in the Marines and shit, or in the Navy.
SEALs.
Navy SEALs. And basically what he did is he managed operations, and he dealt with like a lot of crazy shit. And everything that he learned in war in Ramadi, he learned that you can apply those same principles into business. And with that, he called it extreme ownership and the 4 laws of combat. So 4 laws of combat is, number 1 is cover and move, right? So cover and move means teamwork. There's no silos. If one person fails, we all fail, right? Which means like you're only as strong as your weakest link, which means you need to make everybody strong. Second law of combat is simple, which means that communication should be clear and concise, and you should never overcomplicate the mission, because then people are not going to be able to keep up with this long ass paragraph of directions you're giving them. Third law of combat is prioritize and execute. That means you execute the highest priority at all times. As things change, the priorities will change. Like your priority today might be go out and go fix this fucking this person's lawn or whatever, and then after that you find out that at one of your other jobs one of your workers hit a water main, right? So now your priorities are changing. Now you have to stop what you're doing, and you have to immediately go over there and handle that priority now. And then fourth law of combat is decentralized command, which means that you take initiative. You do what you know needs to be done without being told. So you're not just standing around knowing what needs to be done and ignoring it because you don't want to do it. You're doing it because you know what needs to be done. And if you don't understand, you ask questions.
Now, when you say decentralized command, how does he have that be possible?
Because you give people the ability to lead.
Now, is there like a mission that everybody falls back to in case they don't know what to do? This is our clear mission here.
That's what the 4 laws of combat is. You explain the mission, and then everybody needs to be on the same page relating to the 4 laws of combat. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the 4 laws of combat comes in.
Because the way that I kind of took it in, and I was like, man, this is because look, I started because tell him what he said to you.
Well, he didn't say
what he said.
Yeah, he said it to everybody, but he was saying what he said is that a lot of teams or companies that they have gang mentalities. Successful teams and companies have gang mentalities. And what he means by that is saying that everybody believes in one thing, and everybody is keeping each other in check, and everybody knows what the mission is and what needs to be done. And the only way he could put it for people to understand was gangs, because gangs, they're an organization of people who are together and who are, doing whatever. And then they also have rules within each other that they're holding every single person accountable to. So it's the same way. So whatever you're doing within business, or if you have like a team you're working with, you guys all need to believe in the mission that you're doing. You guys need to understand it. You can't make somebody do something that they don't understand. Number one, they need to understand it and believe in it. And if they don't, and you can't get them to that point, then they don't need to be there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, fool.
When I first heard when he was making those comparisons, because I was trying to look at it and I'm like, dude, that's sometimes you'll lose communication in your company because you guys don't all have the same mission, and then what you'll do is you'll have internal conflict, right? This person will not like this person, and then they'll be butting heads, and then the thing is, they don't have a common enemy, right? So then they're confusing what's going on. They're fighting with each other. No, we have an enemy, and it's the competition, and it's outside of this company. We're all in the same mission to fucking do one thing. And I think when you give it to them in that way, like I started talking to some of my employees, and I started being really like, hey, look, bro, we're competing with these other motherfuckers over here, bro. We don't need to be fighting with each other right now. We need to all come together to shit on these fools over here. Mm-hmm. So then I start letting them know, hey, look, if you're fucking up and you're slacking, then how fuck I'm gonna pay you? You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna make any bread because you're not even doing your fucking job. And then the whole point is to be the best. And when you give them a little bit of that competitiveness and you let them know that we're all working as a unit, we're all working as a team, it's reminding me kind of the gang mentality, yes, because like when we were younger and we were put in certain situations, a lot of times you didn't even have to say anything. Nobody had to say nothing. You already knew exactly what you had to do just in the circumstances that you might have just been in, and that's for example, if you're a homie, if you might see op or something like your opposition and they're strike your homie, you don't even have to say anything. You know what you have to do, and you might just get your ass jumped or whatever the fuck up, but you have to do that. And then you vice versa, it could be a situation where there might be like 3 of you guys and you see something and then instantly all you guys are thinking the same thing. And you know, all right, this is what we're gonna have to do right now, without even saying a fucking word, And then after the situation, you'll talk about it, and you'll assess everything. But that's when I started really thinking, that's how a company has to run. So everyone has to be so in sync that you don't even say anything, and you know automatically what has to be done. And that's some of the best crews on our job. That's how they operate. Mm-hmm. And I think that comes from making a mission statement for the company. I believe too. Like you got to put people together, bro, and bring them to know if our job is to be the best, then anything that's secondary to that is the opposite. So that's just what I really learned from that shit. And I was like, damn, I should have been read this fucking book. It's a dope ass book. And then once you get past that, once you read the whole book and you feel like you're implementing it into your life, there's going to be times where you're like, oh man, like I don't know if I'm like actually like, I feel like I don't know if I'm doing this too much or too little. And that's when you, Dichotomy of Leadership. I would actually recommend reading that just right after, because it explains a lot of the things that you're going to encounter right away. Because there is such thing as having too much extreme ownership. You could be keeping it too simple, where it's just like they don't fully understand everything because you kept it too simple. Well, one thing that I realized too from the book is sometimes you can have somebody that's just too stupid. If somebody, no, like for real, you can have somebody that just like, if you can tell somebody something and they don't fucking do it, Like, hey, bro, da da da.
Yeah.
Dude, and he just doesn't. Some motherfuckers are just not that smart, fool. And you just gotta get rid of those motherfuckers. That's when you gotta be like, because my problem was, I had people that were too stupid, and I was explaining it to them, and they just couldn't comprehend shit. And I realized now, looking back after I read the book, like, you're just an incompetent ass person, and that's my fault. You shouldn't have people like that inside of your organization.
You give them a chance. You let them know, like, hey, these are things I need you to learn. And you could break it into bits and pieces. It's sometimes you could be giving people way too much information and they can't process that much at the same time. You need to give it to them in pieces.
Yeah, but those are like low level dudes. You feel me? You can't have a person in a leadership position that can't understand how to be a leader. You feel me?
Yep.
He's supposed to have the mentality to be able to lead his crew. You feel me? Or whatever he's doing. And that there's positions for people that are not up there and they're down there.
Well, that's why there's something called meritocracy.
What's that?
That means that basically, if it means you want it, you get it. Right? So meritocracy is basically saying, here's this position right here. Whoever exceeds in extreme ownership is going to get this position. Okay? So out of those 5 people, who is going to show the most extreme ownership? Right? There's obviously going to be people that just can't fully grasp it. Those are the people that are not going. They're gonna try. They might get close to it, but there's always gonna be 1 or 2 people like right neck to neck or whatever where they're gonna like completely understand it and be able to lead efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I actually learned too is whenever you want a certain outcome of something, like whatever it is, bro. Like if you want you want to work out or you want to diet or you want to get a certain amount of money or whatever. Just go twice as fucking hard. Figure out what it takes to get there, and then just go twice as hard. That way you know for sure you're going to hit your markers. But, yeah, that game mentality shit, I think that really helped me understand how to lead people more into, like, regular society and shit like that. And that kind of shows you sometimes how a brotherhood is built. Too, you can build a brotherhood out of that game mentality that's not in a game, that's just a society thing. But I think whenever it's broken in any way, a brotherhood like that, it's always frowned upon. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I feel like a lot of people in social media are burying themselves. And it's crazy because they don't have no problem going behind on their words that they're even saying. You feel me? Like, okay, you just see what happened in social media, that G-Face, that whole shit that No Jumper released and this and that. And I'm going to be honest, I said something in the last podcast, I said something that I probably should take back. Okay, I said something about Criminal, right? And what I said was, I don't need to do the work to figure out that he's told, right? Because Bozo said it and this, that, and the third. But to be honest, that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna do the work, but I'm not gonna fuck with him, right? Mm-hmm. Because I just don't care that much to even do it. But you shouldn't be saying that about somebody if you haven't read their paperwork, to be honest. And that's, I think we were both at fault right there for even like saying that, because you shouldn't say those things. Yeah. And we just passed it along. Because I know if you just
you're right, dog. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Nobody should ever accuse somebody of doing something like that without having the paperwork. But I mean, it also depends on who you're talking to as well. Like,
if you're repeating it, if you care so much about it to repeat it, then you should have fucking read it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm like, I take that back. You feel me? I shouldn't have said that. Because if I really gave a fuck enough, I should have fucking read the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I didn't. So then shut the fuck up type shit. So I shouldn't have said shit. That's number one. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is with G-Face too, like, I didn't read his paperwork, so I can't say whether he did or didn't, right? But what I will say, and I could read it, you feel me? Like, it's on the internet. You could fucking read that shit. Like, anybody could look that shit up. I just don't give a fuck enough to read it. But what I will say is, that shit is crazy as fuck. Did you see that shit? This is since 2000, dog. Since the year 2000. if that is true, which I'm not saying it is, allegedly it's true. I don't know. Dog, that's some crazy shit. And then that fool had hella fools around him doing all this. And that fool, I know Swifty Blues looks like, that fool is like a fucking idiot right now, bro. He did that whole video. He did the whole video with that nigga right before that.
That fool already kind of did, though.
Bro,
dog.
he did that other retarded ass shit with LA Times. Man, that nigga's crazy, dog. But, I mean, that just goes to show you, bro, you don't ever know who you could be talking to, fool.
Yeah, no, that's for real, dog.
That fool had a blue flag on him. He had all these tattoos on his face.
No, yeah, dog, what the fuck?
Like, fool, you can't take nobody's fucking, you gotta just, bro, like I said in the last podcast.
What happens is that sometimes the streets will talk before things come to light, and then you just kind of know it's coming sometimes. Like, if the majority is talking about it, why, like, it's not like everybody's organizing against this one person because this person is just so much more successful and better than them, and, and they're just hating on them.
How do you think that happened?
With what?
Let's say that the alleged rumors are true.
About
G-Face.
Fuck, I don't know, fool.
How do you think it happened?
I have no clue, dog. I think somebody either got paid to give that shit up, or I don't know. How does that dude 1090 Jake even get any of that shit?
I'm saying, look,
because he's the one that brought that shit out.
I think No Jumper released the information, but this is what I will say. How was this fool, if the alleged rumors are true, able to go so far with this?
What do you mean? How were the rumors able to go that far?
No. How was he able to? He just got it. They just exposed this fool, right? Allegedly. Now, how was it able to go this far? How come he wasn't stopped when everybody knew this hella years ago? You feel me? How did this nigga go on the No Jumper podcast? How did he do all of these things? That's what that's where it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't be able to tell you, dog.
I feel like
fools know how to move, dog.
Maybe or
it's a possibility that the shit is all fabricated and just fools are not, like, I mean, it's like what you said, right? You shouldn't be saying shit unless like it's actually like there. And if it's just a fabrication and there's no absolutely like hard evidence,
I see what you're saying. Then a lot of people are not even gonna take it serious.
Then why would anybody take it serious? They're just seeing shit on the internet and they're not physically seeing it with themselves.
I see what you're saying.
Or it's not coming from like somewhere else.
Man, but imagine you find yourself in that situation, dog.
Oh, that somebody like fabricates some.
No, like you're sitting down in a podcast with somebody that's allegedly like that, and he's pretending to be a homie.
I don't know. That's a hard one, dog. I'll probably have to get up and leave or something. I'm like, hey, I can't. If this shit's true, this shit needs to be cleared up now.
But then he could be like, hey, my paperwork. I don't have you seen my? You know what I'm saying? That kind of freaks. That's why. Look, bro. On the last podcast,
I mean, yeah, just shoot it. Let me read it. Okay, it's cool. Whatever. Or if it's not, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, but what
at that point, not even what's up.
What I'm saying is, he could have easily mixed in with a lot of people, and that's why in the last podcast, what I said was, assume everybody is fucking telling, bro. That's what I do. I assume everybody's telling. But yeah, I mean, shit happens, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but just be careful who you talk to, and always try to keep it PG-13, man. When you talking, I do. If people start talking about crimes or things like that, man, I stop talking. I don't say nothing. I still kill game and talk baseball, man. But let's move it along. So Lazy Boy and Lil Weirdo had a little back-to-back after Drake and Kendrick, huh? Little Cali thing popping.
Did that happen after or that happened before?
I think it happened after. Like right when their shit was done, this shit started kicking up. What do you think about that whole situation?
I'm not gonna lie. I just I listened to Weirdo shit when and I thought that shit was slapping. He was talking about he got caught with a tranny and shit. That shit was funny.
You're stupid.
That shit was funny, dog. I was like, damn. who roasted him.
He got on his head.
Yeah, he got on his head, fool. And he shouted out the cities.
You know what?
He shouted out Vallejo. He shouted out Richmond.
Yeah.
He shouted out Lower Mission.
Shout out to the homie, yeah.
You feel me? He shouted out all the homie cities, dog.
I feel like people don't really know Weirdo's background.
And San Ho.
Yeah, I feel like people don't know Weirdo's background, and that's why, like, for example, well, first I want to say this. I feel like this whole shit low-key backfired on Lazy Boy. I feel like it backfired on him because, number one, well, look, I want to give Weirdo his credit because he was really showing us love. He was showing a lot of the homies up here hella love, and that's when I was like, damn. And a lot of the things that people don't understand, because I've seen the comments that were talking mad shit, you won't come up here, you got to understand, Weirdo's actually been up here hella fucking times, bro. He's been in Vallejo. We've done music videos. He's kicked it with the homies all through this bitch. You feel me? All on the waterfront, all right here. Not just here, though. That fool's been everywhere upstate. I think my brother Flaco told me before he even, like, we realized that he was fucking, before he was rapping or anything like that, swear to God, fool, Juanito ran into a nigga in the mall out here, fool. Like, before all that rap shit, dog. That's how Juanito already knew that, fool. And I knew Weirdo since way back, too. Like, before that, like, when he barely started rapping. Mm-hmm. So that fool's been plugged up with the homies up here. And he stays coming up here for little fucking things. So that's when it's like, bro, this nigga's been up here. So when they do that little, oh, you don't be up here like that, it's kind of like, bro, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, number one. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to give him his props. The shit that gets me mad, look, this is the shit that gets me mad, fool, is Weirdo's looking out. You feel me? For the homies up here. And he ain't even from up here. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But then you got motherfuckers that are from up here and they don't even do shit, bro. But then you want to claim upstate and you want to be doing all this little upstate stuff and saying this shit. It's like, come on, bro. But you don't do nothing for your people, my boy. You over here fucking like, I'm not even, you know, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not even trying to, but it's like, come on, my boy. Like
that's what we're here for, dog.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But you see other motherfuckers that should be doing it, don't do it. But then they want to fucking claim the fame type shit. Like they really be out here knowing they don't ever even come over here. Ever. So it's just like, man. We'll leave it at that. But Weirdo, you feel me? Hey, props for you, my boy. You really did that shit and you gave a lot of homies up here some love, and I gotta appreciate that. And that leads me to my next shit is like, Lazy Boy, you feel me, started that whole shit off. I feel like he was low key clout chasing. He was.
Who? Oh,
Lazy Boy.
Lazy Boy.
He was low key clout chasing. Why? Because Lefty Gunplay did disrespect him, so I can understand that one. But then bringing Weirdo and Chito into the mix. Them niggas didn't even like that. You was just trying to pull names out just to fucking make the shit pop, which it worked in a way, right? But then now look at the back end of the whole situation.
Yeah, he got real quiet after that tranny shit, right? Like,
Hey, how did he know that, huh? Hey, for real, nah, but I don't think that's where it backfired for him. I feel like it backfired because, look, they did the fucking disses, right? These niggas live fucking hundreds of miles away from each other. They're never going to see each other. But then this nigga Lazy Boy's going to go and do the diss, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of set up the play, though, for my nigga Cole Gunner. You feel me? Because then you're doing all your little videos and shit like that, and then you're like over here saying you won't come up here, and then that kind of sets the whole shit up for fucking Cole Gunner. You feel me? He slides through. He just did back-to-back videos in San Jose. You feel me?
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, and then Weirdo, you feel me? I don't know. You're the one that I haven't been on social media, bro, lately. To be honest, I have been off social media, so I don't really know what's been going on like that. But I mean, I'm going off of you. What you told me a little while ago, where old boy was talking about trying to set the homie up and set him up for a play.
Yeah. Weirdo. I mean, he posted it on Instagram. I don't know what the status of it is now, but he was saying he wanted to take Siete and Code Gunner on to finish up his tour and shit.
That La Familia tour?
Yep.
You feel me? And that kind of set up the play now because, oh boy, you feel me? Lazy Boy put his little...
That's without nobody even asking. That's him going out of his way and doing that. Nobody's asking for a handout. Nobody's begging like, oh, us, help us. Why not us? That's Weirdo just showing love to the youngsters that are coming up and just saying, hey, like, what's up? Like, man, I'll put these fools on tour with me. Like, y'all ready? You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
And nobody asked him to do that. From what I know, nobody asked him to do that. And you know, him saying things like that, that's dope, because the youngsters that got talent, they need to see shit like that, and they need to be around people like Weirdo who are in that type of environment. You know what I'm saying?
That's some real shit. For when he really didn't have to do any of that shit, and just putting those little fools on into a better position. And you know what? They don't know. He's been doing that shit. That fool's been trying to look out. He's been trying to do the fucking videos. He's been coming up here. I mean, look at the song he did with SG and Digga.
Yep.
You feel me? That, hey, showing love. Hey, bro, really just looking out and showing some mad love whenever he sees talent coming through. And I got to give that fool his props. You feel me? He really did his shit. I remember when he was first coming up out of San Diego, and when I first seen him, I was like, yeah, that nigga's going to pop. He's going to blow. And, you know, hey, it couldn't have happened to a better person, fool, and be in a better position than that. Looking out for fools that he doesn't even have to do. He just does it out of the love and off the strength. But yeah, fool, like, that's all I got for right now, dog. Other than that, nigga, I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, shit. I think we're probably going to have to wrap this one up.
Just wrap it up real quick, man. It's because we took a minute to do this one. And there's been a hella shit happening that has happened, but it's like, bro, we can't. It's like, to break everything down, we would need like 3 fucking episodes, fool. So let's just cut it. You know what I mean? We come back. The next one, we more fresher. We're better. We update you guys with some more stuff.
Facts. So check it out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit, man.
Oh, hey, look, and like I said, bro, like my last thing, I was talking about I was talking about my group. I had put my group in there. It was getting started, bro. But like I said, man, I've been going through some personal things as of late. So I haven't been really on social media or doing any of stuff. But now it's back active. Go ahead and check the link in the bottom, bro. It's all accepting members right now for the free. Couple of fucking, you know, in a little bit I'm going to be charging. So let's get on that shit. Bam, let's do it.
Yeah.
Head tilt back, and you know where we at. Got the thing in my grass, and we living life fast, and I put